All right, truth seekers. So I've been in communication with Aid Dustin Nemos on Twitter. In a post, he states Dave is going to serve as a moderator for a debate between himself and Austin Witsit, of Vapegate fame. Mike, who no longer trusts Dave, says, "Common Dustin, really? Dave could have picked a more neutral mod." To which Dustin responds, he'll be under much scrutiny. I eventually comment stating, "You're pretty confident. Would compare color grading between Arctic and Antarctic at respective latitudes high noon, might offer clues." To which Dustin responds to me, "Show me, please. I will be preparing for Friday debate with Austin." So now we know we have just a few days. So I decided to look into this question, and this took me to different media, searching for clues. But after reviewing all of the evidence, I think I have an answer. So my search began with me looking on YouTube, and I came across a short Sun in Antarctica 24 hours without setting. All right, so I played a clip, and it shows a sun very low in the horizon going in a circle. It's credited to Robert Schwartz. And I'm just thinking, okay, so we have the lighting that appears to be a constant sunset. What time of the year is this? Where's this location? I see this distinct structure and decide to take a screen clipping of it. If this is your first time coming across my content, this is my banner. It features a solar eclipse. There are 474 videos uploaded with video titles such as the MH370 plane flash, the superpower behind the New Jersey drones, Peter Thiel, is he running the whole show, was uninterruptible autopilot needed for the Pentagon strike on that day, Mr. Trump, are you Batman? New 4th POG video. It's clear that I tend to explore some of the more fringe topics. I'm not married to the globe-shaped or flattened shape explanations of our realm, but can tell you that I have been quite influenced by this phenomena known as the lunar wave. I think this phenomena, which you can see here, says something special about our reality, a very distinct, special message concerning what really constructs the realm. And why is it that the sun and moon fit over one another perfectly during solar eclipse? I conclude that there are aspects of our realm that seems very designed intelligently. So I think it's important that you get this intro to my way of thinking to kind of help you sort things out, concerning if I'm a SHILL or not. While I consider myself a free person, I would say that I am a slave to the truth. So now to the story. So yes, this is a very recognizable image somewhere in Antarctica. I took a screen clipping of this. I uploaded into Perplexity AI and asked, do you know where this is? I did do this with Grok AI first, and it claimed the location was Namur Station. When I uploaded the image to Perplexity, it stated that this is sunrise at Amundsen Scott South Pole Station in Antarctica. I entered this location into search and started quite a rabbit hole, but I'm going to take you to before I did this. In attempting to answer Dustin's question concerning the color of the sky between the two polar regions, I figured I was going to try to find a northern latitude that is similar to the location of the final experiment at Union Glacier, Antarctica. And so there's this place called Longyearbyen. It's in the country of Svalbard, which I'll zoom out for you to see. So it's approximately located in this relationship to Northern Europe and to Iceland and Greenland. The latitude of this location is 78 degrees north. The latitude of Union Glacier is 79 degrees south. And this is Union Glacier's approximate location on the map, using this peninsula as a landmark. So presumably near the summer solstice, the upload date June 20 of 2017, we have this time lapse of Longyearbyen at approximately high noon. You can appreciate how bright the setting is. You also appreciate the shadows. So as I scroll through the video, the sun starts to dip to the horizon. It's its lowest point. At its lowest point, it still is quite bright. And as I scroll back over here, it's at its highest point again, where it again is quite bright, and it's just higher in the sky. There is a bias in this video in that it appears to be concave with a type of lens used. I'm talking about the topographical setup of the land itself. It's like a scoop out. But despite that, you can still appreciate the trajectory of the sun as it dips and rises near the solstice in the north. You can also appreciate the blueness of the sky and how it appears to be nowhere near sunset. You can appreciate how the sun itself has a apex appearing to be around 30 degrees from the vantage point of the viewer. I would say this is over 30 degrees. So I then compared that to a commensurate location in Antarctica. So this would be Scott Base, Antarctica. Scott Base is located here on the map. And just to orient you, so This is the peninsula I showed you before, and Union Glacier is around here. And this is the tip of South America. Scott Base in this location is considered to be under the jurisdiction of New Zealand, as it's south of that country. There was a video uploaded about 9 years ago titled Frozen South Antarctica 24-Hour Sun 4K. So even though you would only see something like this during the months of December through February, the video was shown to be uploaded August 13th. And there's like a message to people who have questions about the shape of our realm in the description. This message doesn't address the main concern. The main concern being the overlaid graphics. When you have these types of graphical additions to alleged genuine footage, the skeptics go wild. As expected, totally unaddressed here. And I think this is a part of the spiritual element of what we're dealing with, which I'll go into more later. And so when you click on this video, also from the same location, I suspect that this totem is a piece of New Zealand culture. However, Westerners will likely claim it's a phallic image and might be cultic in some way. This video has a timestamp of July 24th, 2022 for its upload and claims to be at 77 degrees southern latitude. This is one of the earliest 360-degree videos where you're able to look to see the sun at any point around this totem. And so I did that. Turning around here, you can see the sun as it makes its travel behind the totem. And it does have rising and setting motions. Really nice, peaceful music there. Here it returns. And it appears to be at its highest point in the sky, just above the totem. And so you may suggest that it has taken 6 months to put together this video, or this might again be a part of the spiritual element of what we're dealing with. Because of the location, this would be occurring in the December through February timeframe. The video description just says that it's a 360 VR time lapse from location Scott Base in the middle of the southern summer, rather than saying between December and February, or rather than giving the exact date. So that, along with this, really could set off a suspiciously minded person. So I later came across this video, stunning Antarctic scenery captured by time lapse, uploaded by this person, June 6, 2018. The description of the video says that it was taken at Scott Base, 19th of February. And so this was about a month before the equinox. And the author notes that the sun hadn't quite set yet, but was getting close, from previously being a 24-hour sun. Okay, and so we'll just play through this so we see something gushing out of Mount Erasmus. Can really see that title, Mount Erebus. You see the clouds spreading, and you see a field camp getting set up. So it's not a time lapse in the traditional sense of showing the sun scrolling. You do see it's still quite bright for this time period. They show us seals. And then what follows this clip is the midnight sun. So the midnight sun is traversing the sky, getting somewhat close to the horizon. And so I reasoned with myself, given that this is taken 19th of February, it makes sense that Scott Base, which is at a similar latitude to Union Glacier, would depict a sun with warmer colors closer to setting compared to this sun captured shortly before the winter solstice, December 15th through 17th. So before the winter solstice, this is about as close to the horizon as the sun gets. The colors are still quite blue and bright. And so eventually my journey carries me to this video where you see a low, nearly setting sun going in a perfect circle without arcing up and down. I entered information into Perplexity AI and was told that it was Edmondson Scott South Pole Station. I come across a channel with this interesting name, Joe Spins the Globe. This might be another spiritual tell. I note in reviewing the video library, there's a video talking about discussing with a supply tech. The video has this transition screen of a globe Earth. Aside from that, there's nothing else fishy that I noticed about this. Prior to even getting to this YouTube page, I clicked through this page on Start Page search engine and was taken to this video titled Tour of the Edmondson Scott South Pole Station. It shows a date of December 30th, 2023. The uploader is Dr. Woblock, and I assume this is the individual here in the video because for this blog entry, it says, if you're looking for something less thorough but snappier, check out my TikTok channel at Joe Spins the Globe. But this 2023 entry here with this video corresponds to this YouTube video. When you click to the upload date, you see that it's uploaded December 21st, 2021, which is actually 2 years before the blog entry. This individual gives you a tour of South Pole Station. I have this image as the timestamp for 22 minutes, 25 seconds. It shows a clock on the wall. The clock appears to show the time of approximately 3:45. You see there is sunlight entering the windows. Any type of tricky editing is possible, but going by base assumptions, I'm to assume this was all taken in one cut, and this is near the end of the tour. You see welcome to South Pole here to the left of his head, so delineated. In this segment of the video, timestamp 6:29, he takes you outside. You see these markers on these posts. These markers indicate the area where workers are allowed to smoke. He then takes you back inside, and I'll just go ahead and start right here. You can kind of hear things from his own words.
All science. This is where all the science offices are. All the scientists hang out in here. Right now it's about 3 in the morning, so I don't think there's going to be any scientists in here. So as you can see, we have the media.
So there is a jump cut there, but you note that he says it's about 3 in the morning, and you just saw it was light outside a moment before. And I just showed you here that towards the end of the video, at approximately 3:45, you see this light pattern. Nowhere in this tour does he emphasize the shape of the Earth or say anything about how long the sun remains in the sky for this location, but you can use these context clues to piece together the sun's likely behavior. And again, the upload date is December 21st. There is a part 2 of the video where he is wearing different clothes. There is a moment near the end of this video where we're taken outside and we see that it is quite bright. Some observers who watch these videos are going to comment that there is a checkerboard pattern on some of the walls. That didn't slip by me. I'm not making direct assumptions about any kind of fraternities, and I don't feel this symbolism detracts from the overall message of the video. In this segment, towards the end of part 2, we see a clock on the wall. The clock appears to show that the time is 11:50. Given how bright it appears outside, I'm assuming that this is in the morning rather than in the night. However, there are no statements made that seem to confirm that, just that you hear music in a certain portion of the video to suggest it's waking hours. I searched Amundsen South Pole Station on Google Maps and then secondarily on Google Earth. This is the Google Earth showing. Moving the cursor, I'm told that this is approximately 84 degrees. You have to look down in this area, and I'm going to move over that marker again. And you see here it says about 84 degrees. And if I move down, it will go to about 89 degrees. So I thought this was odd. This is about where this claimed marker is from Union Glacier in this area here. It's about that distance. I'm guessing this may be a mistake and that this base is really located here because searching for Amundsen South Pole Station says it's at 90 degrees south. And so then I came across this video, a walk at the South Pole from station to dark sector. I thought this video was interesting because it shows the sun at dusk or sunrise. A GoPro camera is used. You can see the curving of the Earth there. There is this interesting segment that addresses the concern for snowpacking and what to expect in certain conditions. Check this out.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, fuck.
It's not exactly fluffy, is it?
No.
Okay, just thought you should see that. And so this video details the journey of these two from the Amundsen South Pole Station to a location called Dark Sector, and are following these flags. There's no information offered up concerning what time of year this is. The upload date is January 9th, 2022. They say they make this journey right after sunrise. And so I think if this date upload somehow corresponds to the timing of when this took place, that would create some confusion given that during the Northern's winter solstice time, it's supposed to be especially bright and sunny at the South Pole. And so curiosity piqued, I started to search for sunrise at Amundsen Station South Pole just to get a sense of what sunrise must look like and what time of year that must be. And so here we have a little known video with 500 views on a little known channel of 356 subscribers that was uploaded September 9th, 2023. And it states, the sun is beginning to rise. We're about 2 weeks away from the rays of the sun cresting horizon here at the South Pole. Our long 6-month night is drawing to a close. The weather is beautiful, so I went to Geographic South Pole to get a quick video. Filmed on September 8th while I was wintering over 2023. And so we have it given that the next autumnal equinox is September 22nd. And so here, in the context of this video, it means that this region would have been in darkness going up until early September. And then as September marches on to the equinox, the sun gets higher and higher in the sky until it finally crests the horizon. You see the sun rays, just as is explained here, 2 weeks away from the rays of the sun cresting the horizon. And so while we're still in this context, returning back to the video about walking to dark sector, I caught a glimpse of this structure, which I realized was the structure I queried Perplexity about earlier, here circled. And so I clicked through Perplexity's link to link 3, Sunrise at South Pole. It takes me to this blog called South Pole Ozone, and the date for it is September 22nd, 2022. It starts, after 6 straight months of darkness, the sun finally returned to the sky above Amundsen Scott South Pole Station. Scientists working at the station and collecting air samples experience only one sunrise and one sunset per year due to the unique location of the South Pole and Earth's axis. And those sunrise and sunsets occur at the equinoxes, which is my own editorial information added. And so there's this short video of the videographer panning across the horizon, showing the station, and then showing the sun apparently rising. Looking through the images of Google, I came across this image, and it shows a familiar atmospheric condition that some have speculated is relating to a domed surface. And I found this interesting image also at South Pole Station of like a cave of sorts. It looks like you might have to have a security clearance to enter. This has a very foreboding appearance. Google Maps refused to show me directions to get from Scott Base to Amundsen for some reason. So after looking over all this information, I conclude, well, before I tell you what my conclusion is, I should at least show you this. So this is a time lapse dated 8th of March to 13th of March 2017. So technically this would have been near the spring equinox of March 20th. The video features a structure similar to what I showed you before, and the lighting reminds me of this short video I mentioned to you earlier. So this time lapse goes over several days. The sun's at the apparent lowest part of the sky here. I will just run the clip to get you a sense of how the sun revolves around South Pole Station. So you see there's not a whole lot of changing of its height as it goes. I can tell a difference, but it's subtle. It just keeps going and going. And at that point, I'm still in this portion of the clip. So now I'm gonna go to the end. I'm gonna do a comparison for you. So we'll go to the very beginning of the video, and you see this structure as a landmark. You see the lighting of the sun. It's sort of near sunset, a little bit before sunset. Again, the time is 8th to March as we're told, so the sun should be progressively setting. I advanced the clip to later on at the 1 minute 59 second mark, and at this point we're several days in, and you note how the light is different. It's a bit of a darker light, warmer, so more akin to sunset, and we still have the same structure as our landmark. I will go ahead and take you back to the previous one again to see that difference. And it's just over a couple of days as they're approaching the equinox where the sun actually sets. So in conclusion, given the media that we have available, the phenomena of the 24-hour sun in Antarctica appears to exist. This is Wolfie 6020. This is Timothy Mark. Here we have a South Pole sunrise video by John Harton. Here we have another one by Ice Cube WO. This is Joe Spins the Globe. This is Wild Kiwi Adventurer. Is it possible all of these individuals are in collusion to spin a web of deceit about the nature of our Earth and Sun? In this world with the machinations and brilliance of man, anything of that nature has possibility. Though at the same time, it's important to be able to evaluate evidence and scale the likelihood of deceit, finding any errors that signal deceit. And so for the recent 25-minute time lapse on Dave McKeegan's channel, there is the cited concern about footprints. And indeed, this does give me a bit of trouble from the analytical standpoint. I've looked at different times to see how the ground changes. And all in all, even taking that to account, the imagery we're provided doesn't make complete sense to me. So I'll acknowledge that. The sequence of Austin Witsit breathing out cold air and saying, "What's up now?"
What's up now?
With only one breath delivering visible vapor, obviously with a second smaller visible vapor breath, occurring right after a intermission where he was not able to deliver visible breath before, seems to point to manipulation to perform for the audience. I heard of the theory of him entering this cabin, breathing in warm air, and then exiting, and that creating the condition that will allow him to exhale vapor. Thinking over that, it doesn't make logical sense to me, as colder, drier air is more prone to generate a visible vapor if humans breathe out the moistened air that's warmed by their lungs. We also have the segment right after this where he walks 20 feet away to pick up snow. In all, I take both of these actions to be spiritual in nature. There are different tellings of a circumstance. In an optimistic telling, you can say that the master designer, the master storyteller, the individual who created humans who later create the concept of the master mason, somehow wants people to speculate over these basic questions concerning the nature of our universe. And so he causes his people to make mistakes, like in the case of Witsit here, just because that triggers people such as myself or others to look more thoroughly into the realm, the reality in which they live. Good pressure in a sense. In a dark telling of this, you may say that this individual was nervous on camera and didn't want to let the viewers down, and so actually took a hit of a vape before reappearing on camera in order to deliver for us this.
Here's a little breath. What's up now?
What's up now? And in an associated dark telling, this may have been a scheme devised amongst multiple individuals to foster division and controversy within the FE community, just to set up as a straw man to later be torn asunder when they demonstrate all this evidence of having gone to Union Glacier and the evidence of the 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Supporting this darker telling of events, we have this scene with a individual who goes, I think it's McToon, sort of telling off a FE'er.
You lied.
You hear what Nathan just said to you? You hear what Nathan
I don't care what Nathan said. Nathan lied.
Drama. So anyways, this false flag...
Okay, so I have to be careful about the words that I allow into YouTube here. But there was this dramatic scene that was creatively narrated by this person here, who I can't say his name or describe his channel, but you can read that if you want to look at the video. It's pretty funny. But the overall theme of this scene is the creation of division and maybe bullying of people who have questions about the shape of the realm. I choose to believe that these people are unwitting actors, meaning they lose some agency in their decision making. However, I don't really know if this is the orchestration of God, who I so described earlier, or if this is the allowance of evil that causes this. Evil itself is very mysterious, but I think we could possibly be in a type of reality where, on a dark hand or the positive telling, individuals become characters in a story, and they take actions that ultimately create a lot of confusion about the nature of our world. They bring show and tell items into the space station and use CGI creatively, thinking they're doing something good, or purposely teasing individuals to create further division and chaos. After watching my presentation, do let me know what conclusion you come to. I appreciate your attention and care. So going back to a video I covered before, Midnight Sun in Antarctica by Richard Ross, uploaded February 10th, 2019, at latitude 74 degrees south. At 8 seconds, the sun looks like this in relation to the observatory, comparing initial time of 6:35 on 11/13/18 here, and comparing the time a day later to 11/14 at 6:24. Many have complained about how similar these suns look with the rays coming out at the same points. This same phenomenon has been noted in other time-lapse videos, and it's really one of the basis for concern of video fakery. But now, in this context, looking at the date 11/14, it makes a bit of sense that the sun is low in the sky And given that this is a more northern latitude of 74 degrees, it makes sense that this sun would have a trajectory where it arcs upwards more dramatically than any other locations, as you can appreciate here. So the same story is corroborated, and then you would have to ask, is somehow Richard Ross in on it? Overall, the probability of such extensive collusion, as stated before, is not impossible, but I just find it extremely unlikely. It's more likely that the sun actually has this type of behavior in southern latitudes.